Welcome to the Spirit Center .us. I love that, us. I'm Kyle Shiver. I'm here in Savannah, Georgia at the Spirit Center headquarters, right here. I'm in my garage where everything gets done, and I want to welcome you and thank you for joining me for this first Questions with Kyle video blog. It's the first one I've done, so if I look a little nervous, please excuse me. The question for our first video blog is, how do I know if I'm settling for less or if I'm living up to my full potential? I completely adore this question. I love this question. I ask people to send me questions all the time. If you get my emails from Spirit Center, you know I've asked from time to time. I ask on Facebook. I write a lot. I'm in the process of writing a book, and I do a lot of speaking sometimes, and so I want to know your questions. I want to know what you want to know, so I know that I'm talking about something that you're interested in, right? So my favorite question so far, how do I know if I'm settling for less in life? What a great question. The answer to that question is that we live in a very materialistic world. Commercialism is all around us, and it really doesn't matter what kind of car you have. The guy down the street has a better one. Somebody's got a prettier wife or a more handsome husband. Somebody's got a nicer wife or a nicer husband, or a wife that can cook better. Somebody's got nicer clothes. Somebody's got a bigger house. There are people who own entire islands. It doesn't matter if you're playing that game. That game is just one of it never ends. So what we do is we get caught up in this cycle of wanting, and when we get what we want, the first thing that we do is we want something else. I've had times myself when I was wanting something and I knew I was going to get it. I was going to do whatever it took to get it. I'm going to get this, and then when I get this, I'm going to get that. So I already know what I'm going to do next before I even get what I'm after now. It's such a cycle that we can get caught up in. And so it's a good question, if you're in a marriage, perhaps you have a job that you're working and you're not really sure if this is the best job for you or if you could be doing more with your life. Here's the trick. Only a person who is coming from their center, only a person who knows themselves can actually answer this question. If you're living in mind, if you're the mind and you're living materialistically and you're living in the world of commercialism, then you are settling for less than you could have. You could go get somebody prettier. You could go get a higher paying job. You could go get a prettier car or a better car. You're settling. If you're living on the spiritual path, however, and you have awakened to your true, authentic self, or begun this awakening, then what you're going to want to take a look at is your core values, your core intentions, your core goals. What is your purpose for being here on earth? You answer those questions, and then you can answer questions, am I settling? Easily, because anytime you're looking at something else, you can ask yourself one simple question that my spiritual advisor taught me. Is this in line with your intended goal? Is this in line with your stated intention? That question is the question to ask when making a big decision about a job or a relationship or a house or a life change of any sort. If you don't have direction in your life, if you don't have goals, if you don't have intentions, it's impossible to answer the question, you know. If you're living a meaningless life, it's meaningless anyway. Just go get a nicer car. Sorry, I like to be funny sometimes. So there you have it. Meditation. You are not your mind. You're not the brain. You're not the mind. It's a 3-pound glob that's in the head. You're not the body. You're a soul. You're a spirit. You're here on earth to fulfill a purpose. You're here on earth to change the world for the better in your own way, just like I'm here to change the world in my own way. There's no right way to do it, but get out there and do it. I don't settle for less in my life. I have the perfect house. I have the perfect car. I have the perfect wife. I have the perfect occupation. Everything in my life is perfect because I have an intended goal, because I have clear set intentions. Everything I do is centered around carrying out the intentions, increasing the intention, getting me closer to the ultimate intention, to do more. My main intention is the word healing. So everything I do in my life is centered around healing. Healing more people, healing more often, healing in more situations, being a healing person in more situations in my daily life, at the grocery store with various people, in situations to where I'm dealing with people that I might not get along with, or when I'm in situations that I might not want to be in. It's about learning to heal. Everything is about healing for me. So I don't ask myself, well, should I sell my car and all my guitars and go buy a Mercedes? No, I shouldn't sell my car and all my guitars and go buy a Mercedes, because I use my car and all my guitars in healing, you know. And it really does get down to being as simple as that. I sure hope I answered your question well for you. I sure hope that you're in meditation. I sure hope that you are in direct, absolute, fully concentrated and focused presence upon your intended goal. And then you will know whether or not you're settling for less whenever you go to make a decision. Thank you so much for joining me on this. This is the initial voyage of questions and answers with Kyle video blog. If you have any questions that you would like for me to answer, just email Kyle at thespiritcenter.us.